God. Ask God.
Hey Scott, it's Brian. AMZING, amazing podcast. And I've just been masticating through all of these episodes. And I have just about 6 or 7 left to go. So keep them coming. And I do have a question that I think that hasn't been addressed yet. I remember how you mentioned that if you launch your second product, then your first product will nearly double in sales because every new product launch will help the products before it. What if the second product has a lot of competition? Is it still a good product to launch, or only launch products that have low competition, meet Greg Mercer's criteria, and where there's some wiggle room to get a lot of sales? Thanks a lot, and look forward to your answer.
Hey, Brian, thanks so much for the question, and it's a good question. Now, I don't want people to think that if you launch one product and then you immediately launch another product that you're going to start getting more sales. That's not really what I mean. Here's what I mean. Some people will launch a product in, let's say, the garden niche, okay, or niche, depending on where you come from, okay? And let's say that you launch that product. Let's say it's a garden shovel, right? And then the next product could be like a little mini garden rake, or maybe a holster for the shovel, or a little bag for the bucket, or whatever, right? There's all of these other products that go hand in hand with these other, with that product line. So if you launch a shovel and then you all of a sudden pivot and now you launch a garlic press, well, that's not really going to help the sales. So what I meant by that, and what I mean by that, and I still stand by that, is when you're creating a brand on Amazon, off Amazon, it doesn't really matter. When you have more products for your customer to purchase, it's pretty much going to happen naturally that your average sale is going to increase. All right. Now, Amazon does a really good job of this because what they do is they show frequently bought together, suggested, all of that stuff, right? You can also, advertise, on your keywords that then are also going to kind of piggyback off of each other. You can run promotions inside of your own listing. So this way here, you can run a special to your other listing inside of the one, and back and forth through those different products. So that's what I meant by, if you launch one product and then after you launch product 2, your sales could increase. They could double. Doesn't mean they're going to. They definitely should spike, because now you're giving that one customer more things to buy, right? So it's kind of like, I kind of go back to the fisherman, right? If you're a fisherman, well, you need a tackle box. You need the gear that goes inside the tackle box. You might need some boots, some wading boots. You might need some hooks. You might need maybe a hat. Maybe you need, I don't know, certain thing, a wrench, or not a wrench, a pair of pliers to take off the hooks, whatever it is, right? There's different things that are positioned to go towards that particular customer. And that's what I really do talk a lot about, and I'm going to be talking about it even more, is really not going after the product, but going after the market. All right? Because if we can go after the market, then we're able to figure out what that market wants, and then we can give it to them, right? So again, if we're going into the gardening space, well, someone needs the shovel. They also need the little mini rake. They also need the bucket that the bag slips over, that little 5-gallon bucket with the little compartments in it. And then they might need the little pad so they kneel down, so they're doing the gardening. And then from there, they might need those little clippers that they can clip off the, or kind of prune the shrubs, so all of these different things can go in that bucket. So it's almost like you're filling out that bucket with all of those other tools that they are going to have to buy when they're doing it. And if someone is buying one tool, they're probably going to want to buy the other tool. So that's just an example of how you could build a product line, and that will usually increase your sales, especially if you market it properly. And again, I think that you should always have those promotions being cross-promoted inside of each other. Now, this would work really, really well if you have an external sales funnel. And we'll get into that a little bit, later at another time. But really think about this. Someone buys your shovel on your e-commerce site, and then you can control the next part of that sales funnel, meaning that the next thing would be like, hey, before you go, we've got a special on the garden rake. And then before they go, oh, we've got a special on the pocket that goes over top of the bucket that holds the tools, right? So you can lead them through that buyer sales funnel. And same thing, kind of like if you've ever been on GoDaddy.com and you bought a domain name, they do it very well. Vistaprint is another one. They're giving you relevant products kind of geared towards the one that you just bought. So it's a natural progression. Amazon does that, but they control it. Okay, but it's still going to help your sales. So hopefully that's helped you. I can go on and on about that stuff because I think it's really important. But again, let's think about the market. What are the problems or the things that the market needs and wants, and then serve up those things to the market. Well, hey there. Thank you so much for listening to that episode of Ask Scott. Now, that was just a highlight from one of our full episodes where I generally answer 3 to 4 questions on a podcast. If you want to go back and listen to all of the past archives of not just the Ask Scott session, but all of the full episodes where I do interviews with top Amazon sellers, people starting from scratch and building a business, if you want to listen to any of those episodes, head over to theamazingseller.com and you can find all of that over there. You can also find details there on how you can ask your own question and get it aired on an upcoming Ask Scott session and possibly see it here on YouTube or just on the podcast. All right, so definitely head over to theamazingseller.com. There's tons of resources over there for you to be able to build your e-commerce and Amazon business. So definitely go check that out. Now, I just wanted to remind you one thing before I let you go. There's a lot of information out there and some of it is really, really good. What I want you to remember is you have to not just consume the information, you have to actually apply that information. So take this information that you learned here today and apply it to your business. And this way here, you can get results. As my shirt says, I wear it almost daily. Take action. We'll see you guys.